We're looking at the Part 1 homework. So this is the very first page. You'll see up on top this statement here that tells you what you should be able to do by the time you're done practicing it to make sure that you're ready for quizzes and tests. It says, I can use the formulas for area and circumference of circles well enough to go forwards, backwards, or both directions in a single question. So you're going to use the formulas to find area and circumference, but you might not be going necessarily forwards. You might be going backwards in the problem. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to pick out a couple of problems, kind of an easier intro one and then a more difficult one from each page. Go through those examples to get you started, and then the rest of them you're on your own and with your group. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into one labeled number 5 here. It says the circumference is 10 pi feet. Circumference is 10 pi feet, and I need to find the diameter. So to do that, I know that circumference, I'm going to want to write down the relevant formula. Circumference is equal to 2 pi r, or pi times diameter. The one I'm going to pick is the one that has the diameter in it, because that's what I'm actually looking for. So I'm going to say pi times diameter. Now if I zoom in here, I know that my circumference is 10 pi. So 10 pi is equal to pi times diameter. If I want to get diameter alone, I need to divide out the pi from both sides. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. Now that cancels these two out here to 1, so leaving me with just my diameter. On the other side, I also happen to get that to cancel out. That doesn't always happen, but in this case it does. So then I have 10 equal to d. So my diameter is 10. So that's my answer. We're going to actually jump up to number 3 here just because I want to show you something with using exact answers. All of these problems, I want you to use exact answers, not decimals. So that means if you're using your calculator, you wouldn't push the pi key. You wouldn't use 3.14. We are asked to find the circumference of the circle. So in this one, I'm going to use my circumference formula again, except this time I'm going to use 2 times pi times r, because I have the radius. I don't have the diameter. If my radius is 9, I would plug that in. C equals 2 times pi times, not r, but I know that it's 9. So I'll plug in 9 for r. So then 2 times 9 is 18 times pi, and that's my answer. I'm not going to push it in my calculator and do 18 times 3.14 or something else that's similar. I'm going to leave it with the pi symbol. It's almost like leaving your answer as 18x or 18y. I'm going to leave the pi symbol there, so make sure you do that. It's really tempting to want to go in your calculator and use a number, but leave it as 18 pi. Last one I'm going to do is number 11 here. We are given the area and we're supposed to find the radius of the circle. So I'm going to use the only formula I know for area, which is area equals pi times r squared. My area is 4 pi. So I'm going to plug that in. 4 pi is equal to pi r squared. If I want to get radius alone, I want to get r alone, I need to divide both sides by pi first. And that cancels out here. It also happens to cancel out here, which is nice. Again, that doesn't always happen. So 4 is equal to r squared. I'm going to square root both sides, and if I do that, I'm going to get 2 is equal to r. Now you might be thinking, well, it could be negative 2. Well, when you're dealing with geometry and you're dealing with side lengths, negative 2 is not a possible value for a radius. It has to be a positive number. So 2 would be our answer. The rest of these, you are on your own. Good luck.